Welcome to another edition of Cooking for Two, or in this case, Cooking for Deux. We're doing French today. French onion chicken. Holy crap, is this good? Perfect for a date night, perfect for cooking for two. All I'm doing here is I'm doing salt and pepper on these chicken breasts. I'm going to flip them over and season both sides. Salt and pepper, that's it. Because I forgot something that I remember to add later. Now here on my handy dandy hot plate that I got for Christmas, I put on my cast iron skillet and I'm going to do a combination of oil and butter. Here's tip of the day. The oil prevents the butter from burning and becoming brown butter. What? Who knew? I'm full of tips and tricks. Follow me and you will go places. So, you can see now that my butter is a-boiling. So I'm going to put these chicken breasts in, and you can see I'm only cooking two. Feel free to double this recipe if you would like. So I'm going to cook these for 3 minutes per side. That will not cook them all the way through, but that's okay. They'll finish cooking later. We just want to get a nice crust on it. And now I remembered what it was that I forgot to put on here. That's what you get for cooking without a recipe and doing your mise en place. We needed thyme. I needed to season the chicken with thyme. This is thyme that I grew in my garden, and then I dried it in a paper bag in my office, and now I'm using it, and it tastes wonderful. So, thyme it is, and after 3 minutes, we will be flipping these babies. And here we go. Now, right about now, my wife is saying, "Oh man, that smells really good in there." And I'm like, "It's just salt and pepper and chicken and now some thyme. That's it." So we're going to let these go for 3 minutes. And then I'm going to check the other side just to make sure that it caramelized nicely. And it did. So we're going to take it out. You'll be back seeing a few chicken breasts. Anyway, I'm going to set those on a plate, set them to the side. And now I have sliced 1 onion. You can use any kind you want. You can use white, you can use yellow, you can use sweet. It doesn't really matter. So once I get these in there, I'm going to take my handy dandy bamboo and I'm going to give them a little breakup. This will help the onions cook a little better and evenly and all that good stuff. So I'm going to throw in another little nib of butter. It needs a little something extra. And some salt and pepper, and of course, thyme. And we're going to let these go for about 10 minutes, just until they get nice and soft, or until they begin to brown. Either way, it's going to be magic. So you can see now they've been cooking for a little bit. So it's time to take this recipe up to a whole nother level. Let's do this. We're going to add 2 tablespoons of all-purpose flour. Then we're going to mix it around, stir it around good. We're going to cook it just for like a minute or so to get the raw flour taste out. And you can see now it's looking really good already. We haven't even added the liquid yet. Anyway, so once this is a minute, minute and a half, whatever it takes, we're going to add a can of beef broth, or 1.5 cups. It's just slightly over 1.5 cups, but that's great. No worries at all. So now we're going to stir this in there, and that flour is going to help thicken up the beef broth. Now to this still, I'm going to add just a wee little pinch of salt and pepper, and just another wee little pinch of thyme. And it just adds all the flavor, and that's all the flavor you're going to need. It is so full of flavor. So now that I got it mixed up, I'm going to put the chicken back in. You can see that it's not fully cooked. That's okay. We're going to let it simmer. We're going to reduce the heat just a little bit and let it simmer for about 15 to 20 minutes until the chicken is done. And I'm going to turn it every now and then as well and cover it with onions so they can absorb all that lovely flavor. I mean, would you just look at this? I mean, just look right at it. So good. You can see that our sauce is now getting thick, like gravy. So I'm going to put onions on top before we go to the next little doohickey that I'm going to put on here, which is I'm going to put a slice of smoked Gouda cheese. You can use Swiss, you can use Gruyere, you can use mozzarella. It doesn't really matter, as long as it melts nicely. Although I wouldn't use cheddar. Cheddar and French onion soup, I don't think so. And I'm going to put a top on it just long enough to melt the cheese. And look at that, perfection. Now, just like with French onion soup, we need a round of bread. You can use a baguette. Today I toasted lightly sourdough. And I'm going to place our chicken breast directly onto that sourdough. And let me tell you, the bread with this gravy is off the hook. I'm here to tell you. So now I'm going to add, I take a little spoon action, and we're going to spoon over some more onions and gravy. And we're just going to smother it good, because that's where a ton of this flavor is. It's like French onion soup gravy, which, hello, is a good thing, with this perfectly cooked seasoned chicken. Would you just look? I'm putting some garnish on it now to make it even prettier. Man, that looks good enough to eat, don't you think? Well, I think we should. So I'm going to cut me off little nubbins and stick it in my face. And I'm going to get very happy very soon. The countdown is this: 3, 2, 1, booyah. What you cannot see off camera is my eyes are rolling back in my head. I'm doing a little happy dance. It's just so dang good. You are going to love this. Don't believe me? Check it out. There's my face. It has food in it, and that's a happy face. Good. Hope you try it. Have a great day.